Oh, yes, learned guy is there, Johnny. And Dam's laughing. Damn, he got banned during my watch along, Man U Brighton watch along for 24 hours. GT was GT was quick with the trigger and he timed him out for 24 hours.
Wow,
But
24 hours.
yeah, Larry the Drone's in. Yeah, Kylie says yo scores. Nick Fadley says hi. Dam's cracking up. So we're just this Damn has definitely entered the chat. I don't
Finishing
ignore
up,
Anthony.
Rocket League game.
John is finishing a Rocket League game. David learned. I'm telling you, man. Watch out. If GT comes in, you're in trouble, man. Dam might be a bit more lenient. I don't know, but GT. Tell you what. But how's everyone?
He asks
Hey,
bizarre questions, man.
he just loves food. He's like obsessed with food.
I don't even know what he's talking about half the time.
No, I have no idea what he's talking about. Nick says second half are scary. You talking about Man United second half? But we'll talk about that shortly, Nick. Don't worry about that, man. We're gonna get into it. How's everyone doing? Damn, Nick. How's John doing? Oh, damn. I think Damn just timed him out.
Was he back? Was that learned?
Yeah, I think he just got timed out by Damn. I don't know how long for. Damn might be a bit more lenient than
I think I only gave him 10 minutes, but GT gave him 24 hours. So
24 hours GT did him, man. It was hilarious. And then GT was cracking up because 24 hours is 8,600 seconds. He was pissing himself laughing. He was cracking up. But 300 seconds in jail, Dam says. There you go. So he's out for 300 seconds. Hopefully, no pun intended, he learns from that. But
so what's that, 30 minutes?
300 seconds? Nah. 60.
What's that?
60 is a minute. So 60, 120, 100. It's about 5 minutes. 5 minutes.
Okay. Maths is terrible.
Yeah, well, my maths ain't the best either. And then Dam says 5 minutes. But anyway, in saying that, aside from what we're about to talk about, how you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm doing all right, man. Obviously, it's round 2 and still early days, but yeah, unhappy with a few things, but I'm sure we'll get into it in this show.
Well, Nick, we will touch on that comment, but I'll read it out. It's across the screen. Nick Fadley says, I meant Chelsea in the second half was frightening. If they continue doing that, they will certainly finish top 4. Abdul Rahim says, Kent, please, can you do a Premier League roundup and breakdown of each game? That's what this show is, Abdul. This is the Premier League weekly wrap. We do it every Monday night, and that's exactly what we're going to talk about. Abdul, this next level, Dan says. So let's get straight into it. We'll bring the results up, and I guess it's the first game we'll talk about because it was the first game of the round. Our beloved Man United lose to Brighton again. Erik ten Hag has only beaten them once in the league, I think, and once in a Carabao Cup, which went to penalties. Absolute bogey team for him, but we'll bring up the results here. First game was at the Amex. Brighton 2, Man United 1. Listen, they went ahead. United equalised. United were unlucky not to go back ahead with that Garnacho thing. I mean, I know it's the rule, but there's a part of me that thinks like there's a millimeter in it. It's going over the line anyway. Like I don't know. It's a weird. Like it's a weird thing. Xerxes didn't mean it. He was trying to get the previous ball, but then we do what we do, and we conceded late. But before John says his say, for me personally, I think Erik ten Hag has got to take. I know the players always have to have some sort of blame, but how Erik ten Hag went into the game, he bought De Ligt, didn't pick him, so he should have played instead of Maguire. I thought a guy that he stripped of the captaincy 2 years ago is still picking him is ridiculous. Xerxes scored the winner for him off the bench last week. Doesn't pick a forward, picks Mason Mount, who, mate, I'm sure we'll talk a bit about him. He's terrible. And then Garnacho, who assists the goal last week, is probably our best player at the moment, doesn't pick him either. So I think Erik ten Hag has a lot to answer for because of the loss. And then a few of the subs, like taking off Bruno. I mean, like, I get they're a bit of a bogey team, but his selections did not help, I thought. I don't know about you.
Yeah, look, first of all, Ten Hag got schooled by a 31-year-old manager.
I know, man, a 31-year-old.
It's just unreal. Ten Hag muddled up this game with selections, his substitutions, as you mentioned. I don't know what we did. Both goals we conceded, we just completely switched off. Maguire, the first one, I don't know why he didn't clear it. I don't know if he was thinking Onana was going to come collect it. But if you don't hit a keeper man, I don't know, you were taught this in year 10 football, you clear it. It's simple as that. You get the ball, you boot it out. Doesn't matter if it's a corner or a throw-in, you kick the ball. He just let it go past him, and it led to a cross, and it led to a goal. And the second goal, I don't know who was supposed to be at that left post. It's just another switching off at the back. Look, Brighton had some chances. They hit the bar as well. They didn't play too bad, but I do believe we should have got something out of this game. We didn't play awful. We did create some chances. The Bruno one coming off was a terrible choice for Scotty McTominay. Come on. And look, all I've got to say is my patience is running really thin with Ten Hag. Like I've been backing him this whole time. I still back him, but yeah, it's different. Like when you talk football, it's different. But when it comes to soccer, your patience, especially as a Man United supporter, you don't have as much patience as you do in AFL for some reason. So my patience is running thin with Eric. He needs to get it right. I know it's only the second game, but if we still see this kind of football going into October, November, and we're just sneaking in a late winner here and there, especially after watching Chelsea the full game, the way they score their goals. So for me, he has to improve and has to improve quick because the amount of pressure and the media scrutiny that's going to come on him, it's just going to be too much, and inevitably he's going to be sacked. So he has to turn it around quick, and yeah, he needs to put the right players on the pitch.
Well, I think we're both saying the same things. Like we spoke about it a bit earlier. Like, why sign a striker that's meant to play when your other striker's injured, and there's been 2 games now and he hasn't picked him. Mind boggles me. Go sign, whether what anyone is talking about him, go sign one of the most, he's one of the top 10 defenders in the world. Like, he's a big name. Go sign him. Keep Maguire in, and then, like, whether it's Rashford or Ahmed, I don't care who it was. Like, even Mount. Why play Mount up front? You could have played Rashford centrally. Could have started Xerxes. Like, I don't know what is Mason Mount? I don't know. Like, if you could answer that for me, I reckon I'd tell you to go buy a lottery ticket now. Like, what is he? He's wearing number 7. I get he was a good player for Chelsea. I truly get that. He was a good player. He's won the Champions League. Like, you don't do that being shit, but he's come to a team where his position is taken by the captain, for one, and I just don't know what he is. I don't know where he fits in at United. But I think it was a lot on Ten Hag, man. I think if you're giving player ratings, you give them all bad rating, but Ten Hag's had to be like 2 or something out of 10. It was that bad. Like, I just don't know. I agree. He's got to pick it up, and the unfortunate thing for him is he's got Liverpool on Sunday, and they look really good. They don't come to Old Trafford and go in their shell, like yesteryear. They're going to come to Old Trafford and want to spank us, really. So I think he's got to bite the bullet, like the whole McTominay thing. Like, why bring McTominay on, and then the next day, they've said they're selling him, like he's been sold. That doesn't make sense. What the fuck did you bring him on for? Like, I don't... Bring Eriksen on or something, who's actually an attacker that is staying at your club. Like, I don't know. Yeah, so, I don't know. It's bad result for Man United, but I think even though we have said a lot about it, the least said about it, the better, really, because, like you said, their manager's 31 as well. And listen, I know he's going to win other games, but is he going to go school Pep? Is he going to go... Even Slot, like, Ten Hag is a more experienced manager that's won more in the Eredivisie than Arne Slot has, but it seems like Arne Slot is a more experienced manager than him. He's gone into Liverpool. They're just playing football like he wants them. Like, why has it taken this long for Eric to play football? I don't get it. Like, this excuse of, you don't have the players to do this for you or this, I think is a load of shit. You can make players play how you want them. They might not do it as good as Man City and that, but you can still get them doing what you want. So I agree. Listen, man, I don't know that we're all happy about the Van Nistelrooy thing, but I think that's going to be like a Grim Reaper just sitting over Eric Ten Hag, because there's this guy sitting there that, although he's on your side, ultimately he wants your job. So, yeah, I agree. Patience is running.
I did say Van Nistelrooy would be coached by Christmas. So.
Listen, to be honest, I hope not, because that means we'll be shit. So
yeah, I hope not.
So, but anyway, we'll go on. Manchester United need to spend more money, Abdul says. Thing is, with these days, man, you can't just go spend money. It's they're selling McTominay, and from what I heard today is Ugarte still, man, you don't want to pay 60 million. And PSG are like, well, we're happy to keep him unless you give us 60 million because we want to recoup what we paid. So whether that happens, I don't know. But yeah, listen, like John said as well, we're getting amped up because it is our team. We get pumped. It is only round 2. So, we were. Nick says, "Is there any chance of Ruud van Nistelrooy taking over?" Well, John thinks he's gonna. He said he might have it by Christmas. So, I don't know.
That'd be your Christmas present.
Yeah. So, anyway, we'll go on to the next one. Very disappointing by United. Like I said, and I think John really Erik Ten Hag is the major culprit in that. He's really got to. He's not a kid manager, is he? He's 50-something years old, so he's got to he should be no better than that, I think, personally. But on to the next one. After that night, I was only watching these in Goal Rush, but I didn't actually see this one happening. Crystal Palace lost at home to West Ham 2-0. I was just watching Goal Rush, like I said, but I tipped Crystal Palace, so yeah, I don't know. They're losing Elise. They've lost Anderson at centre back now. Talk of Gahey leaving. Maybe they're going to struggle a bit more than we thought. I don't know. They've started the league off two losses, so.
Yeah, as you mentioned, it wasn't the best start for Palace. I spoke to my uncle about this one. He's a West Ham fan. And,
he would have
been,
Con would have been loving it. Con would have been loving it.
Yeah, he was happy with his squad. He reckons they deserved the win and played really well. Bowen was really threatening up front. I think he even got a goal.
And he's captain.
I think my uncle mentioned he was very happy with Wan-Bissaka as well. So there you go. So look, West Ham, they got a good squad, man. They got some good players in there. I really like Kudos as well. Bowen's threatening. Did they keep Panquetta? Is he still there?
I think so, but I don't know if he's. I don't know if he's injured or not. Because, like I said, I was only watching Goal Rush, so.
Yeah, so they've got a pretty solid squad. So and they've got a good manager now as well. So yeah, look, good result. They get their first win on the board, West Ham, after the week 1 effort. So yeah, I think that's a good result for West Ham away at Palace. And Palace, they've started off slow this year. And as you mentioned, if those players leave, it could be a real struggle this year for sure.
Well, Anderson is left. He's gone. So they've lost one of their centre-backs. Gahey, I'm not sure who it is that's trying to get him, but someone's putting bids in for him. So if they lose both their centre-backs, so if they lose both their centre-backs, they're done. And then obviously they lost Elise. So yeah, imagine Eze gets injured. Like they're done, really. Yeah, I don't know. Good. The thing is, you said about Wan-Bissaka, and I have no doubt in my mind he'll go play well. Because I don't know, we always say, is it the pressure of playing for Man United, whatever it is? It's like people can't perform for us. I don't know. Like you said, Kudos. Like he came from Ajax. We spent 90 million on Anthony. They bought Kudos for 50 million from the same team, and he's 100 times better than Anthony. So yeah, I agree. West Ham good, but yeah. Who are you going for in the AFL finals, Damn, Jamar says. And he says, no one. I'm with Dan. That's what I say, no one. If your team's not there, you don't go for anyone. Good man.
Anyone but Port, man. I don't want Port to win the flag. Please, please, God, please.
Mate, I told Chris, if Port win the flag and in the same year Liverpool win the league, you're not going to see me for like 6 months, bro. Terrible. Bridget says Geelong. Yeah, I know, exactly. Anyway, on to the next one. Fulham, after losing to United, back at home, beat one of the promoted teams, Leicester, 2-1. Good result for Fulham. I think it's a real good result. Leicester, after drawing with Tottenham, that they would have thought maybe they could go to Craven Cottage and get something, but I think it's going to be hard for them. They've lost Drewsbury Hall, who he came on for Chelsea last night. And I think the commentator said he got 15 goals and 14 assists in the championship last year. So they've lost one of their main creators, let's say. Big up Dan for the chat. Super chat 1-800. Where's Dr. Lad? I've got to message him and find out where he is. But yeah, so they've lost that. And I think Leicester are going to really struggle, man. They got Blake Irwin as manager, aka Steve Cooper. They lost Maresca, so yeah, I think they're going to really struggle, man. I don't know what you think.
I watched the 9-minute highlights of this one, and yeah, Fulham did have the better opportunities. Leicester had some decent build-up play, just didn't have the edge to put the ball pretty much on target. But look, to be fair, Leicester created some chances, but just that, like you mentioned, they don't have a scorer, man. So
they got Vardy. He's our age, isn't he? I think.
I know they got the Vardy party still, but I don't think that's good enough
No, not
at his
anymore.
age. 31-year-old Vardy, then you're laughing, but
Oh yeah.
no, not 38-year-old Vardy. So if they can get a striker in, I would for sure. They could really change Leicester's fortunes because I think they could, stay clear of relegation this year if they can get a striker in. But I think Fulham a bit too good and deserve the 3 points.
Yeah, I agree. They I don't know, like I heard it's funny you're talking about Vardy. He has scored over 100 Premier League goals, and he scored his first Premier League goal. He was 29. Like his
Yeah, I
effort,
think
it's
he was
actually it's a wicked
I
record
think he
when you
didn't
actually
really
look
play
at it.
professional football till 25, I think.
I think it was later. I even think it was 27 or something. Like it's like
Yeah,
what?
like he was just he was playing football, but and have had like a job as well in like an amateurs
Yeah,
teams, early 20s, and
he's playing that non-league.
so and he's played for England as well. So
I know. It's
good on
crazy,
him,
man.
man. Good on him.
Most goals
He
by a
was
player
even linked
after
with
30.
Man United.
Oh yeah, and
He
Arsenal.
was even
Remember
linked
after
with
they
Man
won the
United at
league?
one stage.
Yeah, when they won the
Yeah,
league, he was going to go to
crazy.
United. Arsenal's mad. Like, but
Yeah,
great
linked with
effort by
Arsenal
him.
as well. Hmm.
But yeah, I agree. If they had a 31-year-old Vardy, they'd be laughing. But on to the next one. Next one, listen. We're only going to talk about it for probably a couple minutes because we say they're boring. But I was watching it, man, and when Ipswich scored, I was like, what is going on here? And then it was like it was like watching a boxing match of, like, I don't know, back in the day where the underdog punches Mike Tyson. It just made him angry. And it just knocked him, knocked the shit out of him. It was like they scored and I was like, what is going on? And then Man City just turned into prime Mike and just absolutely battered them. Like it was next level. So listen, Haaland, another hat trick. I think he's tied Wayne Rooney for hat tricks. So
Wow, he's only like 24, is he? Or I don't know.
listen, but you know what? I still say, man, you put anyone up front there, they're going to score goals for that team. Like they're it's just the way they play. Like they won a treble without they won a league before the year before they won the treble without a striker. So, but yeah, I don't know.
But he's definitely one of
City,
the
man.
best finishers in the world for
Oh, he's a
sure.
great
He's got to
finisher,
be
man.
one
He's a
of the
great
best
finisher.
finishers.
100%.
Yeah.
Like
Mm.
they just turned it on, bro. When they
Yeah,
were 1-0 down, they just smacked it.
I could just imagine if you're an Ipswich supporter, you're celebrating that goal, and you go, "Oh my god, I'm just going to go grab a beer." By the time you get back to your seat, it's 3-1. So
Dude,
it's like,
they went
yeah.
down the
I
other end
was
and just scored.
I was at work at the time and I was on patrol, and on you can listen to the EPL
On the
live
radio.
on AM station,
Yeah,
1629 AM SEN.
yeah.
And I was just buzzing out on the commentary going on. It was just like it was that period there of Ipswich getting a goal, and then the next quick three from Man City was just. I think it felt like it happened all in 5 minutes.
I know, it was crazy.
Yeah,
It
so
was crazy. Johnny Carlton is in the chat. He's very happy about Chelsea, from what I can tell.
they played good. They played really good.
They did play good. Oh, well, it was good. It was actually it was a good game to watch. I watched it last night. It was actually a
Oh,
good game to watch.
we'll get to that game soon, but yeah, I watched the whole 90 minutes of that one.
Yeah, so did I. But yeah, we'll get to it in a second. I should have captained Cole Palmer because he got 3 assists and a goal, but I had Salah as captain, but I got pumped. Wayne got like 90 points against me, bro.
I think I lost as well, actually, but
You did, but
I
like Wayne spanked, bro. Where he pulled all those points from. But anyway,
we need a
on to the
graphic
next
of
one.
the fantasy league at the end of the show.
I'll start next week. As of next week, I'll start bringing it up. Another one of the newly promoted teams, John's FM team. They lose at home to Nottingham Forest. I think when you're losing this game, you're one of the new teams losing to Forest at home. I think that's like one when you're looking at it, when you've been promoted, you're penciling it in like, we got to win that game. You know, we got to beat Ipswich at home. We got to beat Nottingham Forest. We got to beat
Yeah. You
whatever
want to at least get
Leicester.
something, at least something from it for sure.
So it's a massive win for Nottingham Forest, and I reckon it's a massive loss for the Saints. But yeah,
Yeah, this one I didn't really watch any, but yeah, as you mentioned, Southampton. You don't want to playing dig yourself out of a hole straight away. You know what I mean? So, it's looking like a relegation fight already for Southampton. As Kerry mentioned, I use them in FM, and I'm looking at their squad, and they've seemed to chop a lot of players around. So when you buy in a lot of players and you sell a lot of
oh
players,
yeah,
the
it's
team
changed.
not. It's just too much sometimes. It seems like Southampton has done that. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see that with the Saints. I've got a soft spot for them, but yeah, look, they didn't look good in the first game. I've seen the highlights last week, but yeah, to lose at home to Nottingham Forest is a nasty one.
Yeah, listen, they're a far cry from the Southampton team that I saw, win a Champions League. So that's for sure. But anyway, I think it's. I know it's only round two. Like we even said it about United, we say it about City, whatever. But to lose at home like that's big. Johnny Carlton says, surely Haaland not golden boot again. How do you bet against him, man? All the people that I think are going to challenge him, just talking about that topic, I think Isak is someone that's going to challenge, should have challenged him, hasn't scored a goal yet. Me and John said about Solanke, hasn't scored a goal, he's injured. Like, even you look at, like, man, Hoyland's injured. At Chelsea, they're going to share the goals around. Like, Cole Palmer isn't playing, they don't really have someone playing up top. So you would think, like, let's say Cole Palmer gets 20-something goals. It's a great season, but it's not going to be a golden boot. Like, I don't really see, does anyone challenge him when you actually, like, think about it logically? I don't think so. Like, there's no...
No, like, you can see, like, Haaland coming first, and you got your Mo Salahs and Palmers in that second. But when I say second, they could be 10 or 12 goals off second, you know what I mean? So, for me, Haaland's, heavy favourites for the most goals. But there's no one from Man United beating him. There's no one from Arsenal. Arsenal spread their goals. Chelsea spread their goals. Liverpool.
It could be Salah's the only one. Salah's the only one.
Yeah, is it Jota up front? Is it Nunez? Not too sure.
Yeah.
You mentioned Solanke. Isaac, Newcastle don't seem to be scoring any goals at the moment.
Exactly.
So, yeah, it's a tough one. But Haaland for sure at the moment.
Like, Isak, like, I think he's amazing. But, yeah, Arsenal had the most goals last year, Johnny. Like Johnny Carlton saying. But I think their top goal scorer in the league had 18 goals or something. They're the same. They share them around. Saka, I think, got the most for them. Oh, Cuban Pete. But don't mess with Cuban Pete. Learned he got timed out by Cuban Pete now, so he's been done. Yeah, but yeah, like I'm saying, that they just share him around. I think the only real threat to it, and I don't think he can do it this year, is Mo Salah. Personally, that's.
And Arsenal share penalties as well. Saka doesn't always take them, so
exactly. So, but anyway. On to the next one. Unless he gets injured, there's but you're not wishing that on players. But this takes us to the next one. This was a big one, man. I think most Australians sort of have a soft spot for Spurs at the moment. This is without Solanke, Heung-min Son. Man, the guy's a champ. Like, they smacked Everton, man. I said it to you last week. I'm worried about Everton. I don't think they go into I don't think they're in the Premier League for their new stadium next season, man. They got spanked again.
Yeah, I mean, worrying start for Everton. They didn't start last year very well either, so
true.
But they did finish it strongly. So I mean, Dice is still Dice there?
Yeah, Sean Dyche, yeah.
Yeah, so he's a notorious guy to keep teams up. You know what I mean? I think he has been relegated before, but he's been always in relegation teams. So
Yeah.
if I was Everton anyway, I would try to look past Sean Dyche. He's like a relegation battling type manager. But yeah, Everton have got problems. They can't seem they don't have the money to bring players in, and they've got to sell to buy. And I think they've gone the wrong way about it with Brandfoy. I think they should have cashed in with Man United and spread their love on the squad a bit. Yeah, look, bad start for Everton. Confidence has been shot at the start. They're probably hanging out for the international break right now. So,
Yeah.
Good on Ange Postecoglou, man. He plays a good brand of football. He does attacking play. It's just amazing. We'll go back. I just want to revert back to Eric Ten Hag, how he's taken, his third season now, and we're still wondering how we're going to play. And then Ange just comes straight into Tottenham and goes, "This is how we're going to play." You know what I mean? I've got these players. This is how we're going to play. So, I just hope we get a bit more attacking players. What I'm trying to say in Man United, but Tottenham a good team to watch, and they were dominant and deserved the 3 points.
100%. Dare I say that sub counter that just went down, it could be learned, because I mean he's been timed out about 17 times tonight. But learned. I told you, man, don't mess with Cuban Pete. Cuban Pete is also AKA.
Is he calmed down, or is he spamming? He's spamming chat again.
Dam has kicked him out. Jess has kicked him out now. Listen, you don't mess with Cuban Pete. I told you she's the Punisher. So, Johnny says, do you reckon Vardy could shock the world and beat Haaland? I don't think so. I think Vardy. I think tops he gets. Yeah, I reckon tops. This is tops. He hits 15 goals in the league this year, but I don't know.
That'd be a great season if he gets 15 goals.
Yeah, that's what I think. I think that's tops. So, Ree says, hey, Johnny, and hey, KP. How are you? Yeah, I don't know.
He's 38 years old, man.
I don't think it's his problem. It's his team's problem. But it's his team. It's because he's with Leicester. It's not, like. And he's a Yero, yeah, that too. But anyway, on to the next day. That finishes the Saturday night games. Next day, man, this massive win, I think, for Arsenal in their title aspirations, like to go to Villa Park. They had more possession, but from what I saw, Villa actually had more expected goals, and I think Raya got given man of the match. So, but that's what you have a good keeper for. And then they took their chances. 2-0. That's a great win at Villa Park, man.
Yeah, I mean, Villa's one of the teams, fighting for top four, unfortunately for Me United, to go back to that shitbox team. But, and to get a clean sheet at Villa Park and win 2-0 is huge. So Arsenal mean business this year. And I didn't know Ray was such a good keeper, man. I actually watched him in which game? The first week, and he played in that game. So
remember we were talking about the first week. I remember they were 0-0, and I think who'd they play? They had this header, and it went back across his body. I don't know how he saved it, bro. I remember saying to you, I was like, I don't know where he pulled that save from. That was in round 1. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, like we go on about Ramsdale, how, I can't believe this guy's been dropped. He's been fantastic for Arsenal, but you know what? Ray is better than Ramsdale. So
yeah, he is.
If you're Ramsdale, I wouldn't have too many complaints, because he's a very good keeper, and as you said before, he was man of the match in this game. So yeah, look, Arsenal big win though, as you mentioned, big win to win away from home at Villa Park. And they need to keep winning to put the pressure on City, man. Once you you just don't want to give City a lead if you're going for that title. And Arsenal keeping up with them.
It's funny, like Raya. Obviously, we had De Gea, like De Gea, Raya. Both of them they're not even the number 1 for Spain. Like, so they've got a plethora of keepers, Spain. I think they play Uno Simon from Athletic. Like, so like they've just had I think it's a bit like the Germany batch that happened recently with Neuer, Ter Stegen, and Leno and all that. There's just a good batch of them out of Spain at the moment. But yeah, no, he's good, man. I agree. He's really good. It makes you wonder why United, when we went for Onana, didn't go for Raya. He was cheaper. He was in the Premier League.
Just
Listen,
hurts my
and
head.
no, and that's not having a shot at Onana. I actually think he's been better than people say, and he hasn't been bad this year. To give him credit, I think he's played. None of the goals have been his fault, let's say, but yeah. Anyway,
No.
on to the next one. Bournemouth 1, Newcastle 1. There was a massive talking point in this game. I don't know if you saw it. I was watching it. It was on Goal Rush at the same time with the other game, the City game, I think it was, or one of them, and it was
Chelsea, I think, playing at the same
Chelsea.
time.
Sorry, that's right, because I was watching Chelsea. That's right, and you said you're watching it too. That, to me, that disallowed goal in the 90 whatever minute it was is a disgrace. If that's my team, I'm ropeable. There's no way that's handball. I don't usually agree with Glenn Hoddle, but what he said after when he was talking to Michael Owen, he's like, if they've moved the line, it's meant to be here, the t-shirt line where it's handball. Where it touched, he goes, it's like it's half-half. He goes, to actually determine where it is, he goes, is you got to do that forensically because there's no way they can make that decision. So, yeah, I don't know. I thought that was a shocking decision, man.
So what happened? They gave a handball because
he jumped and he hit it, and then it hit here. Like, can you see me? It hit there, and they said that the line is up. It's been moved up, and they go, they called it handball, but there's no way it was handball, man. It was pathetic. Iriola, like the manager, was losing it. One of their people got sent off, but you know what? They had their right to. It was shocking decision, man. Like I'd have been losing it. You know, you don't see that happening against Man City, and like I know it's a finger pointing thing, but even against United, like you don't see that happen. Like it's a crap decision, man. Like they should have won. They should have beat Newcastle.
Yeah, well, I've got a friend at work. We were watching the Chelsea game, and in the other room, he was watching the Newcastle game because he's a Newcastle fan. Yeah, he came in our office after the game and just says, "Wow, we're lucky to get a point." So I actually didn't see any of it, but he was explaining to me about the handball thing. I'm like, wow,
it's stupid.
That's crazy, man. I thought handball was like the elbow down, but
well, but not even that. Like if they've moved the line, right, and a ball hits you because it's round, how is it ever going to be justified? You know, like when a ball goes out, like even in footy, it's got to be the whole ball. So doesn't that mean the whole ball should be over the line for it to be handball? Not like that. That doesn't make sense. That's a stupid rule change, I think. So
yeah, Bournemouth have been ripped off there.
Oh, big time ripped off. Larry the Drone says football. Ooh, do some footy. We are doing footy. It's football. Settle down, man. Take it easy. And then Dam says, not a smart comment, Larry. Larry's all right, man. I'm not going to talk about footy for the rest of the year because Crows aren't in the finals, man. So I don't care about footy now. Footy's dead to me until
tomorrow's footy podcast, Larry.
Yeah, footy's mate. No matter what John tells you, I'm telling you, he'll go on the show, but he's lying. Footy's dead to John until next season as well. As long as Port don't win, that's all we care about.
I'll just be hoping anyone but Port.
Exactly. But anyway, let's bring up the next one. All right, there's the one we've been talking about. It was definitely game of the round. Johnny Carlton, we've been happy about it, Chelsea fan. It was 2-0 at half time. And as you said, you were watching it, I was watching it. You didn't think it was going to be 6-2 when the halftime whistle happened. I thought, this is going to be a close game. Wolves might get up. And then Chelsea just spanked them, bro. You know what I like about them? The way they play out from defence, their centre-backs look for long passes out wide. You know what I mean? Like skip a player and play it. Move the ball quick up the field, not meander around with it. You know, like let's get from point A to point B as quick as possible and attack at pace. Like, you know, Cole Palmer, 3 assists and a goal. Great thing. Like Madueke, hat-trick. Joe Felix even came on. Great finish. They look good. They look good. I know everyone's bagging them, but I think you got to be honest. And week one they lost to Man City, which most teams are probably going to lose to Man City this year. And week two they absolutely smacked Wolves. So yeah, I don't know, that they look good. Damn, says Chelsea Hess.
Yeah, I mean,
100% agree, damn, but they played well.
yeah, look, the first half was just awesome, this game. It was end to end. Wolves were playing some great stuff. Chelsea were playing some great stuff. And it was just all round good goals. Like, even Wolves had 2 disallowed goals,
That
were
were good.
just worldies as well. They were offside. They were rightfully disallowed. But, yeah, Chelsea's attacking, man. My goodness. They were hungry. They wanted 8, 9, 10 goals in this game. They were not happy at even 6. Palmer was getting frustrated up the top, not scoring another one. But yeah, look, they just carved them in that second half. They were quick. It's just this young, energetic team that's coming together. If they really click as a team, they can be really dangerous, this squad. They look a bit shaky at the back sometimes, but yeah, look, they've got their bench, man. Oh my goodness, their bench. They were bringing on players like Neto, Felix. They was I forget who else they bring on, but I'm like, wow. When I look at our bench, especially last year, I'm like, Jesus Christ.
The other guy they brought on, I don't know him. He came on at left back. I never heard of him. I'm admitting that now.
Yeah,
I had no idea who he was.
James is injured for them as well, so he's one of their better players as well. So look, Chelsea. I did predict for them to be in the top 4 this year. I think they've got the firepower. They're just, as we all mentioned, they seem to be all over the place. They're not continuity, they're not sort of settled squad. They're not gelled yet. But look, if they get their shit together, and which they did against Wolves, they could definitely get top 4. And entertaining, man. That 90 minutes was so entertaining to watch. So
yeah, it was.
Yeah, big 3 points away from Wolves, and yeah, Wolves aren't a shit team. So to win away, especially 6-2, is a good result.
Oh yeah. Boston 2.0 shipping up to Boston. He says, KP, J. Crom, how are you guys? And then he says, KP, I hate Man City. Well, I hate Man City too.
We all hate Man City.
Everyone hates Man City. But I absolutely hate them. But yeah, we're good, Boston. Hope you're well, mate. Yeah, I agree, man. They're selling players like, what did we say? Chilwell, Gallagher's gone, Chalobah they're trying to get rid of, Raheem Sterling, like we spoke about that today. These are big names, whether you like them or not, that they're trying to get rid of, and their squad's still crazy. So yeah, they're good. That's big man Chris C says, hey lads, hey big man. Go on to the last game of the round. It's like I'm talking about all the teams I hate in a row. Like Liverpool beat Brentford 2-0. Salah on the score sheet again. Do you know what? They look good too, man. It's not as good as a watch when you're seeing 8 goals, but they look like unfazed. And Arne Slot's come in. He hasn't changed much. He's tweaked it a little bit. A little bit more possession based than like full throttle like Klopp, but still wanting to counter at pace. And I hate to say it, they look good. When we're playing them on Sunday, and they look really good. So I just hope we can do what we did last year and beat them at Old Trafford. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know why all the teams I hate good and my team is shit. I don't.
Yeah, look, all the good teams won except for Man United this week. But when I say good teams, I'm meaning like just the top 4, top 5 type of mainstays, really. But yeah, Liverpool. Sorry. They were expected to win this game, really.
They are.
No Tony played in this game either, so they're not the same without Tony, this Brentford squad. So,
but in saying that, they didn't play him round 1 and they won. But like, obviously he's going, isn't he? Like, if he's not getting selected in the squad, he's does that mean he's leaving? Like, what are you doing if you're not picking him, and then he doesn't leave? What have you done now? You can't even pick this player now.
I think they need to sell him because if they don't sell him before the end of the week, he's just going to run his contract down. So,
yeah,
obviously they don't want to get him injured or whatever. So they've got the next few days to sell him. But yeah, look, Man United got to play this squad next week, and it's going to be a tough task. Like you said, Slot's got it organised. They're playing possession football. They're hitting form. They had a good pre-season. So I feel like we're playing Liverpool at the wrong time. So
I agree.
yeah,
he supports Man United. Boston. J. Crom is with me. We support the same teams, except he supports Upper World because his dog. That's it. No, he goes for Man U. Yeah, I agree. I think we're playing him at the wrong time. Hopefully, listen, we'll talk about it in a second when we do when we give our predictions. But yeah, something's got to change. But that's all the results, guys. So that's the weekly wrap of because Boston likes Upper World. See, now he's happy because he's like, oh, you like Upper World too.
Let's go.
Yes, stop talking about Upper World, man. It's terrible. But yeah, let's bring up the fixtures and we'll talk about the fixtures quickly before we get going. All right. The week is starting off at the Emirates. Brighton fresh off beating Man United. Arsenal fresh off beating Villa. Arsenal at home to Brighton. What's going on there?
I think Arsenal win this. I think Brighton played okay against us, but they didn't dazzle me, man. And I think United threw this game away. They could have won this. And I think Arsenal's a better team than Man United. So I think Arsenal win this 2-0.
Yeah, I agree. I think Arsenal, they do them. I think they do them pretty good too, 2 or 3-0. In saying that, the bloke, what's his name that scored against us? My guy, João Pedro. He's actually a really good player, eh? I was watching him against us. He's strong, man. Like, we were trying to tackle him. He was like doing what we want our forwards to do, like running with the ball, moving, bringing it forward. Like, yeah. But in saying that,
you know what I mean? Like they got him on the cheap like a year or so ago.
Cheap.
Why doesn't Man United do these types of deals?
Exactly. Like he's young, right? Like, and I got nothing against Højlund. Like, I love Højlund, but are you telling me we could, like, is there a difference between João Pedro and Højlund? João Pedro scored more Premier League goals than him last year for Brighton. So, and like I said, I love Højlund anyway. I believe he's really going to come good, but why couldn't we go get someone like that? You know what I mean? They're playing, just to put a stat out there was one player on the pitch on the weekend that had won a Premier League title with Man United, and he was playing for Brighton, and that was Danny Welbeck. He's still better than all of our forwards. Like, that's, you know what I mean? Like, that's the way of summing it up. But anyway, on to the next one. Then we got Brentford at home to Southampton. That's a big one.
I think Brentford win this. You know what I mean? I was listening to the Brentford-Liverpool game on the radio, and I was hearing Brentford having some chances against Liverpool. So, look, Southampton, they got to get their shit together in the international break. I reckon they'll lose this 2-1. Yeah,
I reckon Brentford do them. I reckon 2-0. I don't see. I reckon they're just too fast on the counter with Mbeumo and that, and I think they do them. Yeah. This one, Everton at home to Bournemouth. Goodison Park.
I reckon Bournemouth 1-0. I think they've shown they can play some good football, and they've got a good manager, and Everton are in the mud right now. So, going to 1-0 Bournemouth.
I agree. I reckon Bournemouth. I'm going to say 2-1. Everton might score, but I didn't realise they sold Solanke for 50 million, and they replaced him with Evan Nilsson from Porto, who he scored 25 goals for Porto last year. So they brought in a good striker, man. He's good straight, plays for Brazil, they got a good player there, I see you, Boston. Boston said he's got to go. Take it easy, Boston.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, I think Bournemouth as well, yeah. Next one, Portman Road, Ipswich, Fulham. Can McKenna get his first win? Fulham away to Ipswich.
I think it's going to be a good game, but I'm going to draw. I think 2-2. It's going to be an exciting game.
I think it's going to be a good game too. They both try and attack. You know what? I'm going to give McKenna his points. I reckon McKenna wins. It's got this feeling they're going to... The way they were on day one against Liverpool at home, their crowd was amazing. I think they'll bring it home for them, I reckon. I'm going to go
Definitely see goals in that match.
Yeah, I agree. But you know what I was saying against Man City? Remember I said to you after round one, I go, sooner or later, I said to you, Ipswich are going to get caught out playing the ball out from the back. Next week, they play the highest pressing team, Man City. What happened?
Made a mistake in that Man City.
You can't do that in the Premier League, man. Can't do that in the Premier League.
Nah.
So, but yeah, I reckon they might win. But next one, Leicester. Again, man, Leicester, what is a hard run? They got Aston Villa now. Fire out. Leicester at home to Villa. Villa just lost to Arsenal. They're going to want to win. That's a big game.
I think Villa too strong here, Leicester. Unfortunately, I think Villa maybe 2-0 here.
You know what? I'm going to go with my heart and not my brain because I don't want Villa to win, and I'm going to pick Leicester.
Let's go, Leicester.
Let's go, Leicester. We need everything we can get now. All right, last one of that day. Nottingham Forest hosting Wolves. Wolves off getting spanked by Chelsea. Got to travel. Nottingham Forest winning. Yeah, it could be an interesting game. Nottingham Forest home to Wolves.
Look, I watched Wolves, man. They showed me some good stuff against Chelsea, man. I was impressed with some of their goals. Was a build-up play. They hit some crackers. I fancy Wolves getting something out of this game. I'm going to go Wolves 2-1.
Yeah, Wolves look good. I thought they looked good too. I just obviously don't know what they're going to travel like as it's early doors. I'm going to go a draw. But I wouldn't be surprised Wolves win, to be honest. That takes us on to the boring team. They got to go to the London Stadium after, as you said, Con said, West Ham played well. They're hosting Man City. Can West Ham get anything?
Oh, I really hope so, man. But to be honest, Man City looking good. They're looking strong. They're looking really hard to break down. So West Ham just not good enough, man. I think, I'm going to go 3-1 Man City.
Yeah, I tend to agree. I think it's going to be something like that. I think they do them. Although they have struggled against West Ham a few times, but then again, it's a completely different manager now, so it's different. It's not David Moyes football anymore, so yeah, I agree.
But I hope West Ham.
I agree. Then we're back at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea hosting Palace, who haven't won a game. Chelsea coming off a thumping that we spoke about. Man.
Yeah, I think this reads danger for Palace, man. They're in bad form, bad start to the year, and they're playing now Chelsea, who look dynamic going forward. So I think this could be 3 or 4-0.
Imagine they sign Osimhen as well. Well, that's what
I wouldn't be
saying.
surprised. I saw this meme the other day of Ocean's 11 where it has Brad Pitt and what's his name?
George Clooney.
George Clooney, and it's talking about goalkeepers. Do you think we need one more? You think we need one more?
Yeah.
All right, we'll get one more.
Yeah, that's what they like. But that's what they like. So
I don't know how many players Chelsea have, but yeah, they'll keep bringing it. I feel like there's only a few days left. They'll probably bring in another few more players. So
it doesn't surprise me if they make a signing. So
yeah, Chelsea win this one. I think. If you're Palace, I'll be putting up the bus pretty early just to try to contain them.
Yeah, I agree. I think Chelsea make light work of them. If they play anything like they did in that second half, they'll smash them, I think. So, yeah. That takes us on to last year. Newcastle actually thumped Spurs at St. James Park. I think Isak scored a hat-trick, mate. 2 quick goals. Do they do the same this year? I'm not so sure, but Newcastle at home to Spurs.
Yeah, look, Newcastle don't seem like they're clicking right now, and Tottenham are. So, I honestly think this is going to be 1-1. I don't think it's going to be even 1-1 draw.
Yeah, listen, I think it's a tight game. If Tottenham go there and win, that's a big marker even at round 3.
Hard place to win.
It is. But yeah, if they go there and win, it's a huge result for them. But yeah, I'm sort of leaning towards Newcastle. The only reason I'm not is because they don't look like they're playing that well. But yeah, I don't know. That's a tight one. I'm going to go draw as well. That takes us on to the big one. It finishes off the round. Man United, Old Trafford, the Northwest Derby, Man U versus Liverpool.
I'm kind of happy with getting this game out of the way right now. I feel like Ten Hag is going to make the changes this week, and it's going to help his team. He's going to have Delete at the back line. He's going to have Xerxes up front. He's going to have Mount on the bench. I think he might even have Rashford on the bench this game. So I reckon Garnacho starts. I think Ahmad starts. And I think United just put their heels in and dig one out, and they come out on top here 2-1. I do say that because I'm a bit biased. I love Man United, and I know it's not looking like a Man United win, but look, it is at Old Trafford, and we do play decent sometimes there when our back's against the wall coming off a loss. So, look, Slot's first time at Old Trafford. He will be looking for a result. Obviously Salah scored a lot of goals against us. But yeah, I fancy us 2-1 here, man. I really do, even though it doesn't look that way. I think we win 2-1.
Yeah, listen, I fancy United as well. Not only, I agree. I think it's so easy for Eric to turn around now to Maguire and say, "Listen, Harry, I gave you your chance, man. I signed a player, didn't play well. There's the bench. See you later. Bring De Ligt in." And then, whatever happens with Yoro when he comes back from injury happens. I think he can say the same to Mount. Listen, I've got to put a forward in, Xerxes. There's your chance. And Rashford, whatever it is, Garnacho has to start. I think them 3 have to come in. Garnacho, Xerxes, and De Ligt. And on top of it, you got to remember that he is at Liverpool now, but Ten Hag has got the better of Slot a lot before in the Eredivisie. You know what I mean? He won a league when Ten Hag left. Before that, Ten Hag was getting the better of him there. So they probably know each other very well as managers, that a lot of people forget that, which, it could come down to tactical things like that. But yeah, I think all those factors, it's going to be a hard game. But I'm going United. Yeah, I'd sort of lean to the 2-1. Listen, I don't want to see a 2-1 because it will, how antsy I'll be watching that. I don't want to see them score. But
this is way more important for Eric than it is for Slot. Like, Slot will be forgiven for a loss here. But if Eric loses this before the international break, oh my Christ.
Can you imagine the media?
For 2 weeks straight, it'll be all on United. So Eric knows that. I think, he has to get a result here.
I agree. He has to get something. They have to play better. And like I said, he's got to put his signings in, and there's a bit of pressure on them too. Like, De Ligt has to come in and he has to play well. He can't come in and just show be shit. Like, he's got to come in, play well. Xerxes, we already know, has played well. I think he's played well both times he's come on.
That's why I think Eric stuffed up a little bit. He should have started him the last week
Yeah,
against
100%.
because now you're going to debut him against Liverpool now. So
Exactly.
I mean, we have done that with Martial, but didn't Martial come off the bench against Liverpool that time?
I think he did, yeah, and then scored that famous goal. Yep. Yep.
Yeah. So it's going to be an interesting lineup, man. It's going to be very interesting. I'll be watching that game for sure.
I'm doing a watch along, 100%. I don't know if you're at work or not, but I'm doing it Sunday night.
I'll be at work, yeah.
Yeah, you're at work, so I'll be doing a watch along. I already told everyone I'll do that on that night. But I agree, you're spot on. He's in a. It's like a chasm of fire for De Ligt. You're going in at. It's much easier to debut, and I say this as a forward. It's much easier to debut as a forward in a big game than it is as a centre back. And he's got to debut against our biggest rival at centre back. That's why I agree with you. That's why I think Eric fucked up. Like, should have started him against Brighton. But
yeah,
listen, if the squad comes out, man, if Harry Maguire's playing, I'm borderline done with Eric. I'm telling you, they're like that will piss me off so much. Point, isn't it? Like, I know if he does something like that, I'll be done. Like that's ridiculous. So, and Garnacho has to start. Xerxes, like he has to start. Man, why'd you sign the kid?
And look, and another thing we've got to factor in, we probably will bring in Ugarte before the end of the transfer window, but I can see him starting on the bench.
Yeah, he has to.
But, I could see him coming on for Casemiro or someone at some point. So
that's fine. That's fine because he's been playing, he's been training, he's not unfit. And the same was, this is what everyone was saying about De Ligt and Mazraoui, right? They were actually playing and training with Bayern Munich, so they're not unfit. So it's not an excuse. Like they're not. They don't need. They played friendlies for Bayern Munich, so they're fit. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like we've seen it with Mazraoui. So, but yeah, listen. Hopefully we get the win. Yeah, no. Yeah, I just don't want to see a loss. I don't know. No, he has to get something. I agree. I think you're spot on. But in saying that, that's the end. I believe the boys are back tomorrow. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
Tomorrow. And then there was no footy watch-alongs this week, obviously, because there's no football. But I'll be back with a watch-along on Sunday night for Man U Liverpool. Final thoughts, man?
Obviously, I hate how the Premier League start. You play 3 games and then there's an international break. I can't stand the international break. I think this international break is just friendlies as well, by the way. So
that's shit.
Yeah. So I hope Man United get a win, boys, and we can be happy on Monday. I'll be at work next Monday, so I won't be here on the show next week. But
that's all right. You know what they should do? They should just pick all the international teams out of a hat for the World Cup, so we don't have to play international break. Because international break sucks. I hate it.
It's the worst.
It's the worst. But yeah, no, John said he won't be here Monday because he's at work. But hopefully I'm here happy. Let's say that. And hopefully John's in the chat here happy because if Liverpool win, I'm going to be so upset. But thanks everyone for tuning in. It was a great show. The boys will see you tomorrow. Thanks for the mods for doing their work, Dan and Cuban Pete. Great job. See you on the next one, guys. Peace.